All right, guys, what is up, fellow bench warmers? We are doing another draft. Uh, Wait, let me just share my screen. We are actually 2 rounds in, so we'll just quickly run through some of the picks. Today, Komish picked ninth, and apparently he got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Lamelo fell to him at the ninth. You mentioned it before that you were eyeing him, targeting him here.
Yes, yes. I actually the interesting thing here, I think SGA went seventh, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So that is the one that surprised me the most, the SGA drop. I would have
Anthony
thought.
Davis at 10th, a little surprising too.
I think 10 is okay. I would have picked him 10th also if I had the choice. After the top 8, with Yanis included and then Lamelo 9, AD, KD, and Dame are 10, 11, and 12 at no particular order. So Anthony Edwards is the one that's always going very high. He's now at number 11 in this draft. In the other draft, he's
Yeah.
number 13. I just really find that as the one that's really too high. But Lillard fell in the second round. That's a surprise. Kyrie fell in the second round. That's a surprise. For me, Kyrie and Dame should be the ones that are 13 and 14. No,
Well,
13,
Kyrie
14.
falling to the second round, not really surprising. I mean,
But
he's
yeah,
not for everyone.
yeah, he's not for everyone. But I still think if you're, it just is too low. If you're picking Sabonis first or you're picking Edwards first, I would still go with Kyrie. The upside is just so much for Kyrie compared to those guys. The value. Kyrie can be a
What's
top
your
five guy.
what's your take about Laurie being picked second round? Don't you find it a
Um,
little high? I find
yeah,
it a
I find it
little
a little
high.
high. I find it a little high. Last year, Laurie started very well, but kind of tapered off in the end. And I still don't even know if he can do much outside of scoring and 3 points, right? So
Yeah.
that worries me
Plus
a
they're
little
a
bit.
bit plus they're a bit deeper this year.
Who?
Like they
Utah?
added John Collins. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
the
added
John
John
Collins.
Collins, right?
No, I don't think that matters because last year who was their starting power forward? They also had someone starting at power forward, and John Collins is not really a high usage guy to begin with. So I don't think that matters. It's just more of at that point in that point of the draft, maybe I want somebody who maybe can give me more, so that I can have a build in my team, unless you're punting assists. That's a good way to go. No, I'm
All
gonna
right.
try to
Another
punt some categories in this draft. I'm gonna try. I'm not sure if I will be able to pull it off, but
you're gonna what try to
I'm trying to punt field goals. I think at this point, so I'm not gonna look at field goal. I'm gonna that will help me in building my team. No, some poor field
yeah,
goal guys could be targets.
right. Another surprise so far in this draft. Well, it's not just this draft, but he's been falling a bit. James Harden at 23. Do you feel he should be higher,
No, I'm not really confident with Harden, to be honest. But I did cue him
or
in
he
this
should
draft.
be lower? Should he be lower?
It should be lower. Not because I feel like he's old. I just feel like he's a guy who will pout his way to get out of Philly. But I really don't know if Daryl Morey, who's tougher, Daryl Morey or James Harden, because Daryl Morey will withstand his pouting, his fat, coming into to training camp fat, overweight or whatever. Daryl Morey will just take it. He'll not care. Unless he gets the deal that he wants. And from what I heard, he wants a lot
A lot.
for James Harden. So I'm not sure how long this will drag on. I believe Dame Lillard gets traded first than Harden. No,
Uh,
so I'm worried about that.
Another surprise here. Desmond Bain falls third round. He usually goes here in the second round, and I think that's the one of the Laurie marketing effects because the other guys picked in the second round were pretty much the same guys that have been picked the last few drafts that we've had.
Yes, yes. Bane. I like Bane. I like Bane, especially without Ja out for 25 games. No, I think Bane gets a lot of usage from that.
Yeah.
And Marcus Smart is a perfect partner for Desmond Bane. No,
Plus, they
the
don't
both.
have any scorers in that team. We just talked about the
Yes,
Memphis depth
yes,
chart. If you look at it, not a lot of, not even, not it's not a lot. There's just one scorer there, and that's Bane.
yes. That's true. Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson is not really a scorer. So, so yes, that's true. The opportunity is there. It's my turn. Um, okay. Vucevic is staring at me here. I think he fits what I like, but I don't want to punt blocks as well. That's my concern. Actually, Kristaps, but I already have Kristaps in another league, but I think he's somebody also to consider here. Or Miles Turner. I'm looking at Miles actually. Although Lamelo doesn't score a lot, but I think Miles can give me my blocks. No.
Um, yeah, in yesterday's draft, which I haven't yet uploaded, maybe by the time I upload this, it's already there. Um, Wembanyama fell to the 40s, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The lowest I've seen him fall. Um, and I picked Kristaps over him. I'm not sure if that was the right move, but do you like Wembanyama over Kristaps or Kristaps over Wembanyama?
That's tough. If this was Kristaps with Washington, I would like Kristaps more, but I probably go with Wembanyama this year. Because I just feel like Kristaps, number one, the health issue is not yet settled. We don't know if he's healthy going to the training camp or not. Definitely with Boston, they can afford being very cautious with him. So that's another concern. And then the usage with Tatum and Brown. I don't think Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum would give up a lot of usage for Kristaps. No, Kristaps will go there, I think, to fill a role more than to be, to get away from what they're doing. So that's the reason I want Wembanyama. Plus the fact that there's the unknown. We really don't know what Wembanyama can do. No,
There's
it
the
could,
excitement of the unknown.
yeah, the excitement of the unknown. And it's like a box that's given to you that it could be a diamond ring or whatever. It could be something, a jackpot box. You would really choose that over something that you know already. Considering at this range, it could spell the difference between you winning or losing the league.
Kawhi gets picked at 40. What
Just right.
range would you? I know you don't like Kawhi. Probably if there's one in your, but what round would you be willing to get him?
What
What
round
pick?
will I be willing to get Kawhi?
Yeah, you said 40 is just right. But
For
I'm
me,
pretty sure you won't. Would you get him at 40 if he was available to you?
probably not. But I know, but people will. So I think if you're happy with that, then that's the range. I think you would be prudent and being responsible, at least a little bit responsible, and not wasting a top 20, top 30 pick. 40 will be just right, I think. For me, if he's still there at the 50 range, I will. But I know that's impossible. So that's why I'll probably not have any Kawhi. I haven't had a Kawhi at all, actually. I never do pick Kawhi because it's just
You know
a
what to
given.
expect, and it's
No,
not
no, I
good.
know what to expect. He's gonna get hurt. He's not gonna get 60 games. He's not gonna play 60 games. He's 55 games, and if he gets to 60, that's you're saying, yeah, I got lucky. So why would you risk that with so much more options here? I know he can be a first, second round guy, but really, what are the odds of that? No, what are the odds of him playing 70 games and being a first round guy, or 65 games and being a first round guy? I think 20%, right? So
Mhm.
yeah,
Uh, so Chet gets picked 44th,
it's near my pick
and
already. So I'm looking at uh, players here.
actually Vucevic picked at what 43.
Yeah, I
42.
was actually looking at
It
Vucevic.
was
If you
solid already.
That
I
was
think
very
that's
solid.
great.
Very solid. Yeah, that's a good pick. Now, Kristaps is still here. If he falls, I will consider him highly together with Jordan Poole. Poole, as I said, I'm quite high on Poole this year. Just concerned about, of course, the shutdown risk of Washington because they might not be that good this year. So that's just my concern with Poole. But if Poole is picked, I think Zach Levine is another player I like at this range.
We are at pick what 40.
48.
Yeah, you'll be picking
Actually,
48.
there are players I like here at this range. Kristaps is one. Nick Claxton, another player I like. I think he's an underrated player. Okay, Maxi goes higher than Poole, which is surprising. Kristaps is still there at 48. Poole is there. Levine is there. There are a lot of options here. Uh,
Who do you think ends up at a better fantasy rank, Maxi or Pool?
I would say just because I think there's a chance that Poole gets shut down, I would say Maxi. Just because I think Poole gets shut down. But I'll go for Kristaps. It's too low at this point. 48 is I think a good value already for him.
Yeah,
That
he's been
helped.
falling. I'm not sure if it's because of the injury, but he's
Probably the
been falling
injury.
to the 40s. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the
Plus, of
injury.
course, the new team,
Yeah.
the fear of the low usage because of loaded Boston team. So I think that's the reason. Those are the major reasons why he's been falling. Plus, he's not really a fantasy favorite among managers because of his injury history
Yeah.
as well. Going back to Maxi, I think this manager Boy Gem really is high on Maxi because I don't think obviously he won't Maxi won't get to him at the turn already, so I think that's why he reached for him earlier.
Yeah, Maxi, this pick would pay off if Harden does get traded or Harden decides to hold out and not play. That would help. But a lot of upside with Maxi this year because of all those uncertainties. So I'm not hating it. Not
Yeah,
hating it that much. No, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Giddy at 51 though, that's quite high.
yeah. Well, Giddy is slowly. I noticed has been picking. He's been picked a lot higher than his actual rank, which is I think in the 60s. Isn't his rank the
Yeah,
60s?
yeah. I think
Which I
it's
think is fair.
I think 60s is fair for Giddy. I see that 60s should be just right for him. But for me, I would not pick Giddy over Zach Levine, over Bradley Beal, over Claxton, over the Rosen even. Not gonna pick him over those guys. Even with the upside that he can have, no. But remember, SGA is there, Jalen is there, Chet is there, so we're not even sure the usage would be the same, no,
Mhm.
from the
Well,
previous
the
year.
only good thing about Giddy is that he can contribute in other categories as well.
Yeah, yeah, but the free throws, no, lack of 3 pointers,
Mhm.
those are still something we have to see that he really, really corrects already or develops before we can say, pick him 50, 51. No, the amount of value left at that range is not that high, not that much. I don't think he's going to be a top 30 guy. I may be wrong, but I don't see him as a top 30 guy at his peak this year. His ceiling, I don't think it's top
Yeah,
30.
hard to see
Probably
him at top 30. There's
probably
too
45.
much players there
Yeah,
who
probably
can
45.
shoot.
That's
Top
the best.
50. I think that's a ceiling for him this year.
Yeah.
DeRozan is another player who's been falling as well. The 40s, now 50s.
Veterans, no.
Not an exciting player to pick.
Not an exciting player. He's like what I said about Laurie, no. The Rosen doesn't shoot threes. That's big, and then the defensive stats isn't that high either. So this some people in early parts of the draft you want to build around certain categories that I don't think the Rosen really has any of those.
Yeah. Although last year I think he averaged what 1.1 steals,
Which is good already, which is
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
okay. Ingram is another player who's been falling at the 50s.
It's just right. I'm not really high on Ingram either. Another player who's I think is kind of brittle. No, always gets injured.
Levine is still available. Uh,
Yeah, I wish he could reach my pick, but
yeah,
yeah, there
no,
he
he
was
won't.
picked 56th. If he fell to 65, that would be something. At this point, looks like it's gonna be a tough stretch.
Is Allen the highest ranked center?
I think Aiton and Allen. I think Aiton is rank higher than Allen
So I
this
think
year.
this guy could probably pick another center here.
Yeah.
Or he went with Randall.
Huh. This is a tough part of the draft. Really,
Yeah.
they're
Starts to slow down by the fifth round. Uh, Yesterday was a long draft. I don't know. I felt like I was too sleepy towards the end. In yesterday's draft. I think everyone took their time picking. Uh, Brooke Lopez, 58.
I tell you who is a sleeper here. I think it's Rudy Gobert, at the range here at the 60s.
He's being picked, yeah, 60,
60.
70. I think
Yeah.
70s.
I think that's very fair value for Rudy. Even at his average last year, 13 and 11, 1.4. The blocks fell off last year. Can it go up again?
Now, the I guess a positive thing here for for Minnesota is that last year was the first year of them playing together, right? That was last
Yes,
year.
yes. Yes.
So they might be able to make some adjustments. Plus, they acquired Mike Conley mid last year. So now they have more time to work on whatever they need to do just to have better, um, how do you say this, usage, just so the usages and, the roles are better defined. Plus, I
Mhm.
think uh, whatever stats Gobert had was helped by Carl Anthony Towns getting injured.
Yeah, that's true. But he also got injured himself, right? He wasn't that healthy last year.
Yeah,
So
he
maybe this
wasn't.
year he stays
But
healthy
but
and
when you I know early part last year we watched the Timberwolves play, and it's just not a great fit between him and Carl Anthony Towns.
that's true. But they had a year to figure it out. I think they will figure it out. They will find a way. It's not a great fit. Yeah, I'm not saying they will suddenly become a great fit, but they could adjust
Yeah,
better this year. Plus the fact that
yeah,
without a great fit, he averaged 13, 11, and 1.4 blocks. If we expect a little bit of improvement, even just in reboundings, maybe just 14 and 12, and then maybe 1.7 and 1.8 blocks, that's a big difference already. In rankings, I mean, at least in rankings. If his,
yeah,
blo- I think we'll just take the 13 and 11. I mean, the field goal shooting is still there, 60 something percent. We'll take all of those. We're fine with it. Just get me 2 blocks. Then we're fine.
yeah.
At 60s, that's already too low for me. If he gets me those numbers,
70. I think he
that
probably hit the
that's too
70s
low.
mark.
Yeah, that's too low. He's around 70. See,
See,
Jamorant goes.
Jamorant got 62.
Yeah, that's too high. At this range, there are a lot of risky players. Zion is another player who I think
Yeah.
is, if he fits my. I said I'm gonna punt field goals. That's why I probably not in. I queued him, but he's somebody that should be picked here already. No, I think Zion is a very good.
It's not just there are lots of risky guys here, but there's lots of risky guys, and then the other players who are with those risky high upside players are with players who probably has a lower ceiling
Mm-hmm.
that you're not sure, whether you're gonna pick them or is it worth picking them, or just take the risky guys, right? Like if you say Cam Johnson, the ceiling is a little lower, a lot lower than like Zion or whoever's the other guys in that range.
That's true. Cam Johnson is probably the safest pick here. It's the pick you pick and you don't think about a lot because I don't think about it anymore. He's just gonna be solid, probably give you, and he has a little bit more upside here since it's his first full season. I think with Brooklyn, he can easily average 19 points, and then 2 to 3 3 pointers, and then 1.2, 1.3 steals, which he did last year. So yeah, he's very solid, very safe. Somebody a lot of sleep on. Now, Tyus Jones goes 64. That's really high. Bradley Beal is my target here. I was surprised he fell here. Not surprised. I know he's falling, but it's still for his fall. It's still falling from where he is. No, but Devin Vassell is another guy I'm interested here, but probably needing much more scoring, and probably go with Beal first. Just gonna go with some value there. Maybe he can still get to top 50, even if being the third wheel in Washington.
Phoenix,
In Phoenix, sorry, in
yeah.
Phoenix, yeah. Even if he's getting his third wheel there, and then the next round, let's see. Let's see who falls.
So it's also good for sure some managers when Jamorant gets picked, Tyus Jones gets picked. I mean, I think Shoko could have picked Tyus Jones, still wait another round and pick Tyus Jones.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
the
true.
way I've seen the drafts, I mean, what three drafts? Uh, Jones has been picked. What the 90s, 80s, 90s? Middleton's rank in Yahoo went up already,
Yeah, he
so I
was one
think
of the in early drafts. He's one of the sleepers because he was 80s, 90s. Now
yeah,
he's starting to move up and up and up. So now the value isn't as good anymore. At 60s, I think if he goes up a little bit, it's just maybe 10 spots, 12 spots, something like that.
which is
Not
still
really that.
good. Which is
It's
still good.
good, but the problem is there's the injury risk. We
Yeah.
don't know his knee how it is, no. So I don't think it's worth already just trying to go for 10 spots of value. That range. If it was 70s or 80s, I like it more.
Okay, it's going to be interesting where Zion goes here. Who is going to take that risk on Zion? Because I think right now 67. Who I think it's really low. If he hits the 70s, I think someone will really pull the trigger on him.
I think that's me.
Aiton at 68, I think it's quite low.
I think it's just
Is
right.
it just me? I think
Yeah,
it's quite low.
I think 60s is just right for Aiton because remember he goes to the fourth wheel. Yeah, his percentages are solid. He can score, not score. I mean, he's not gonna score a lot. It's probably gonna be 13, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 10 rebounds. That's basically Gobert, but doesn't have blocks. No, so yeah, just okay. But there are a lot of bigs down that can give you what Aiton
Yeah,
does.
actually, the bigs are spread out. I mean, there are lots of good bigs as well towards
outside
the.
of outside of the efficiency, the lack of turnovers, the good free throw relatively for a big. Outside of that, there are a lot of bigs that can give you what Aiton does. So let's see.
So Zion falling, falling, falling. We're on the Zion watch at this point. We're at this sixth round now.
Who got picked? Jeremy Grant. Okay. Hmm.
You have to pick Chris Paul. Your team name is Chris Paul, and then you don't pick Chris Paul.
Well,
What's
maybe he thinks it's gonna come back to him. I picked Jalen Green.
what? I don't think Chris Paul would fall to the 80s or 90s. This is actually
Gobert
great.
and
If if there's like Chris Paul, Zion. You saw my lineup yesterday in yesterday's draft, and it's a dangerous lineup I built there.
This
I
is a
had Chris
dangerous
Paul.
lineup. I'm also building a dangerous lineup. And if Zion falls to me, I'm gonna pick Zion. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I
I
think you
think
will. If Zion
I think
falls, you will.
yeah, he will fall to me. The way I'm looking at it, he will fall to me. Makes me think. But it's not doesn't fit my team. There, somebody picked him. So at least I don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Total goes higher than ah.
Are you looking at scoring?
No, I'm looking at rebounds because I'm not really punting rebounds, but my rebounds are weak because Kristaps and Miles are not really good rebounders. Lamelo is okay, so I need to help shore that up a little bit. But right now, I don't have anybody here that really at 76 makes sense. So I may go Chris Paul first at 76 to just. I don't like Capella. Capella's too high. Hmm. What do you think of Chris Paul?
Um, I think at the 70s, that's great value already for Chris Paul. I think he'll still give you those, might not be the 10, 11 assists, uh, but I wouldn't be surprised if he still gives those numbers. The scoring won't be there, the steals might still be there. Uh, they can load manage him better, wherein he doesn't really miss too much games, but just
Yeah.
lower the minutes because they're deeper. I mean, they've got scoring options. They've got, it's Steph there. They've got Clay. So they don't need him to do as much. But I think the assists, I don't see any reason why he doesn't hit 10 assists per game still. I mean, he has Clay, he has Steph.
That's true. And they lost Jordan Poole. They also lost Dante DiVincenzo. So they're not that deep of a team either. No.
Yeah.
So I think he should still get the minutes. I just don't know about the rest. We don't know that yet how he's gonna be treated in Golden State. That's the worrying part.
Who's
Just
your
trying.
backup guard, though? It's him, Steph. We talked about it in the depth chart. Here, I have a depth chart here.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me review the depth chart.
Huh.
They've got
Steph Wiggins. No Wiggins, Draymond, Steph,
Draymond. Draymond plays
all
point.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Draymond
they have Corey Joseph, too.
off the bench, yes. As their probably backup point.
Yeah. So they have options. Not great options, but yeah, I think Chris Paul, I would be I think 10 assists per game is still possible. And maybe 1.2 steals.
I don't think I'm not banking on 10 assists. I probably 7. Probably 7. 7, 1.2 steals, probably around that range. 12 to 13 points.
Seven's too low.
He's not gonna. It's a different system. No, it's a different system, and the ball will not be in his hands for a lot of time. So I'm looking at 7, 7 point. Actually, that's optimistic projection. I think 7 to 7.5. 10 is too high. 10 or 11 is too high. I don't think he's gonna reach there.
10?
Yeah, but I'll be happy. I'll be happy if he gets me that.
How many did he do last year?
Last year he only played a couple of games, so
No, I mean how
um,
many? Wait, how many? What's his average? Did he average 10? I don't think he averaged 10 actually
last
last
year I
year.
don't think he did. He did. He did not. He did not. See what's his stats last year. 8.9 in 32
Yeah,
minutes.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
10 might be too high.
10 is too high. I don't
If he
think he's
hits 8.9, I think that's solid already. Uh, you picked him sixth round. So last year, everyone's picking him what? Fourth? Fourth
yeah,
round?
third, fourth around that
Yeah.
range. I think he'll
So
still be
all he
solid.
needs to do is around 7, 8 assists per game. And the steals are going to be crucial because he needs to at least have at least one steal per game to
Mm-hmm.
be really worth it. So we
Um,
have healed, surprisingly healed with after the rumors of him being shopped around has been moving up the draft board.
I think it's because he has one category that really makes him stand out, which is 3 pointers. It's just at this point, if they're looking at standings and they're saying, "Oh, I lack 3 pointers," and they just go, "Who's the best one?" Oh, that's Buddy
Yeah,
Hield, and
and the build is nice too for the one pick healed. It's Steph,
yeah,
then Mikal, and then Buddy Hield.
yeah, that gives him solid 3 pointers already. No, I mean
The
Stephen
Tyus Jones
don't.
pick is kind of weird, but maybe he wanted to get some assists.
Tyus Jones at that range, well, yeah, if you need an assist, he's a starting point guard, solid. It's okay. I wouldn't put it as a very value pick. No, of course, it's not a value pick, but it's not a pick that could hurt him. I think Tyus could reach top 70, but again, it's a safe one. I just don't think there's a lot of upside in that pick. So 6 picks until my turn. It's slowing down.
Rozier also dropping. Tobias. These are, I think, the 80s is where 80s, 90s, there are some good values there in the 80s, 90s.
Yes, yes, there are values here to get. No, I do need a big, as I said, I need some rebounding. I was able to get that from Chris Paul. So I'm looking at Mark Williams or
Now, Mark
Wendell.
Williams' rank went up to the 80s.
It's still kind of solid for me. The value. He's a starting center in Charlotte again. Of course, Steve Cliff. Oh, there he gets picked. Steve Clifford can bench him, but I don't think he will, and he'll probably be a Clint Capella kind of a player. And you get him 90s. No? Although here he went 87. But you get him at the close to the 90s to 100 range. It's very solid value. Although again, as you said, his rank is going up.
Yeah, it's at 87 right now. So that means
Uh,
he will get noticed faster at this point.
I think Rozier is very solid value.
Yeah, at what
I'll
right
pick
now
Rozier over
90s.
Clay. I'll pick Rozier over Clay Thompson if it were me. No. In every way, his role is larger in Charlotte, even if Lamelo's back, Miles is back, still better than Clay's role in Golden State, I think. healthier, you know. So maybe more assists, can do a lot more.
So the bigs are at this point are a little they've run out a bit. There some of the bigs here, like Robert Williams, there's some question marks in them. Jalen Duren, even Jalen Duren, I know he's being picked here high, but there's still some question marks on, how much minutes they give him. Will he start?
Yeah,
Safest is Wendell Carter, I guess.
I think Wendell, Jalen, those are the best players, best bigs. If we're really looking for bigs, for Jalen Duren, I think he's riskier than Mark Williams. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I don't know about the defensive stats. I don't know about the blocks. Will it be there for him, or is he mostly really a scorer kind of guy? So that's another thing I'm questioning about Jalen Duran. But at this point, sometimes I have him in one league because really I got, as you said, the bigs started one by one. Onyeka Okongwu, good pick, goes higher. But I think Wendell is my guy here. He fits what I want to do. Um, what I need. I mean,
Rozier is still available, 93.
yeah, Rozier is still there. Now it's time to look at the best value left at the hundreds. No, if you look at my queue. Rozier, Duren, Zach, Jabari. Jabari fits what I want to do here, so he's a very important
How about
target.
Markel? Don't like
Yeah,
Markel
Markel. I
Fultz.
just don't need Markel anymore. I have Lamelo, I have Chris Paul, I have Trey Young, so I have all the assists I need. So right
Mhm.
now it's more of looking for scoring, some more threes, some more rebounds. No, looking at those players, players who will fall maybe. Uh, I'm looking at those guys. Zach Collins, a guy who very interesting if he falls, which will be a surprise. So I would probably be looking at Zach Collins or Jabari Smith, something like that. That choice. That would be an interesting choice. Zach Collins is a starter for San Antonio.
Yeah, but again, the Wemby effect is still there.
There he goes 95, so I don't have to worry about Zach Collins. But it's a good pick at the 100 range. I think that's solid pick already.
Nurkic. Don't you like
Yeah,
Nurkic?
Nurkic is another big that could be considered. Valanciunas is another big that's kind of falling because of Zion being healthy. No? So that's another player to look
Plus,
out
he
for.
also wasn't as good last year, I guess.
Yeah. Plus the lack of blocks also, it's
Yeah.
gonna hurt. CJ at 96. I'm not a fan of CJ, and as we said, they're healthy this year, but that
I
is great.
mean, Rozier's still there,
Rozier is still here. Rozier is still here. I like Rozier over CJ, but that's the only
which
complaint
is
I
the
have.
surprise. I mean, what's with Rozier that no one wants him at this point? I mean,
They just don't need him, maybe. I don't know. It's a matter of, I guess, what they're chasing. They're
or
probably,
maybe that GTD tag is scaring some
mm,
managers away from Rozier.
possibly, yeah, possibly. Dinwiddie's here. I think once the bigs like Duran is gone, who else? Zach Collins is gone. Once those are gone, they'll go for Rozier because now they don't have much bigs to go after. Now I think
Hmm.
some managers prioritize going
They're
for
trying to fill that position.
fill some positions. No, yes, fill some positions. There, John Collins. There's still some left, like John Collins, so maybe they look at that. Let me see. I'm 104. Who else is here? Mike Collins. There's some big steal here. No? Let's see. This uh there's some players here to consider later on.
Most of these bigs though are non-defensive bigs, so I think that's the reason why they've been left out. Robert
I,
Williams still there, actually.
yeah, Robert Williams, yeah. Which is expected why he's falling. Did Jabari get picked? No, no, he's there. Okay.
Still
want him to
there.
I want him to
Rozier is
fall.
still there. Jaden McDaniels has been another popular pick here in this range.
For some reason. That one I
Right?
can't understand. Yeah, that one I can't understand. I just, I don't know what Jaden does, really. What's his stat? Let me see. Jaden
He's
McDaniels. 1.9 steals, 1 block. Yeah, 1.3 threes. 1.4 threes. That's okay. Low turnovers. Okay, then that makes sense. But doesn't rebound, doesn't pass, scores little. The steals are point 0.9. Wow.
there.
Rozier at 101. My God. That's a good pick. That's a very good pick.
Yeah,
Three.
101.
Yeah.
Reeves surprisingly falling out of the 100. Scoot.
Austin is
Scoot
Austin is
actually was
starting.
picked
Yeah, Austin is starting to fall. No, starting to fall. His rank has fallen. He was in the 80s before. Then he's now I think 97. You see, his ADP was 85 because that was where his rank was early part, and then now his rank is 97, and he's now gonna fall to the 100 range. I think the post World Cup hype is has died off.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. He doesn't do much except really being efficient. He's a very efficient guy who can handle the ball, pass a little bit, shoot. So, but the lack of steals and basically defensive stocks really hurt him. Okay, thank God Jabari is here. No need to think.
We now have choices.
He's my guy there. He's my guy. Really was going after him. So he fits, as I said. I don't care about field goals here. Lamelo, Trey, Jabari, bring it on. And now let's see who else
Gary
will.
Trent gets picked.
That's a little high for me, no. But if you need the steals and threes, I think he's still gonna be solid. I don't know if he's starting though. I'm not
I don't
sure
think
if
he
he's starting.
is.
Who will start? Scotty, Pascal,
Scotty,
Total,
Siakam, Potel.
Schroeder. So yeah, maybe. Will Schroeder
What
be
was
the
their
starting?
guard?
Dennis Schroeder.
No, no,
Dennis
no, the other
Schroeder.
guard. OG,
Um,
OG.
yeah, OG's there. So OG, Schroeder, Scotty.
Yeah. Siakam and uh Potel. Well, he is the only guard that's going to be, I guess, fantasy reliable in that second unit.
Yes, yes, that's true. So right now we're at round 8, round 9.
Do you
Time
think
for the
Boucher gets used more in
no,
Toronto?
I don't think so.
It's a new coach.
I still don't think so.
Because
But
if it's
but
the
but
Nick Nurse effect,
but he
I'm
might
think
get at least 18 minutes maybe.
yeah, 18 is too low. He's been getting I think 20 before, right? With Nick
Uh
Nurse.
Sometimes 20, sometimes 11, sometimes 12. Really.
Yeah, yeah. The Nick Nurse was a little more wild in terms of minutes.
So who are the top scorers left here? Keldon, Bojan, RJ Barrett. At this point of the draft, this is the those guys, Keldon, Bojan, RJ Barrett. These are the guys that, you know, are
No one
scorers.
likes.
No one overrated for their scoring. No, but at this point of the draft, if you're lacking scoring, they're the players you have to close your eyes and just pick. No, and just hope for the best. Like RJ for my team, if I'm punting field goals, that it's not that bad. No, that's the nice thing about punting a category. I know you don't punt much.
Go pick RJ.
Oh, was he picked already?
No, not yet.
Ah, yeah, okay.
If it gets
So,
to you, pick him.
round 11. Round 11.
Well, that's possible actually. Because I think yesterday he was picked at the last round or second, yeah, around round 11.
Yeah. I will consider that there. Right now, I'm just looking for the best value left. I don't know who else is here that I would be okay with. Nurkic is on top of my queue, but not really somebody I'm considering. This is another guy who I'm not that sold with. Shadon Sharp. No, I'm seeing him here. If
I
Dame
took
gets
him
paid,
yesterday, which
you
I
got
think it was
Shadon?
a mistake.
I don't know. I haven't watched enough of him. Maybe that's the reason why I'm not that
Because I
high.
picked him over Paul Reed,
I probably
thinking that I might be able to get Paul Reed after.
I might probably go Paul Reed first over Shadon, but Paul Reed, I think the hype has died down a little bit because of the Oubre signing. Again, for Paul Reed to get to be able to live
Oh
up to
yeah,
that.
now I also remember there's this thing at the back of my head that says, could Paul Reed be the next Chris Boucher?
No, Paul Reed is a better player than Chris Boucher. I mean, he's not a player that coaches do not want to play because he does stupid mistakes or errors on the court. Paul Reed can play. He just doesn't have the opportunity because of Embiid. Now he has to play beside Embiid to be able to reach the hype, to be able to live up to the hype. And if Oubre is there, that's gonna limit the minutes there for him at the forward position. So that is just, I think, a reason why Paul Reed is falling.
Well, he hasn't
Falling a
really
little.
been picked that high to begin with.
He went to
He's
as
still
high as
be
120. He went as
yeah,
high to
yeah.
the 120s. Yeah, he went as high as. But you have to remember where he's from. Like he was totally out of 200s or 300s, and then he
Yeah.
suddenly went up. I said I wanted to just see who will fall, and Robert Williams is still here. That's
Well, you're
D'Angelo
worried about
Russell.
Kristaps, so you can you can still gamble on Robert Williams in case Kristaps goes down.
That's true. But what if both of them go down together?
Well, Horford is still there.
I'll take all three of them. It's interesting. A
Though I
lot of
think Horford starts, right? Horford
and
still starts.
I think Horford and Kristaps starts.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Or I wouldn't be surprised though if they start Kristaps and Robert Williams,
I don't think
and
they'll
then
do that. I don't think
get
they'll do
Horford off the bench.
that. Is of course that's an option, but I don't think they do that. I just feel like they want to limit the minutes Kristaps and Robert Williams play together. In this draft, Ben Simmons is still available.
Well, yesterday's draft, Ben Simmons was picked, I think, 11th or 12th round.
Okay, makes sense.
So,
Uh I don't know who to pick.
well, it gets
So many,
tougher.
so
Aaron
many of.
Gordon, who's the first one in your queue?
No,
I
I
like
don't.
Aaron Gordon more than Robert Williams, to be honest.
Actually, I don't have a small forward at all.
Oh, then that's going to be a problem because there's not much.
That's true. I didn't notice that. Just been picking
Uh,
the best
well,
guys. Actually, Maturin is the best guy here.
Maturin, Huerter, KCP, those are your options.
Yeah. Hmm. I think D'Angelo is kind of solid here already. Where are my books? I'll just go D'Angelo. Sorry.
Who's not even in your queue?
Yeah, but he's falling, and I just forgot to put him in the queue. But he's on top of the ranks there, and again, not looking at field goals anyway. So I want to have some help in scoring. Let's see. As I said, now Maturin goes next. I really don't have any small forwards left.
So your options could be, I think Huerter can fall to you,
Yeah, Huerter is there. Then
or if
KCP.
not KCP.
No, I'm just gonna pick RJ Barrett. I told you I'm gonna pick RJ Barrett.
Where's RJ? What rank
RJ
is
is 139.
mm.
Or Denny.
Well, yeah. Well, depends on what category, I guess. If it's RJ more scoring, then a little more rebounding and not much scoring though from Danny.
But overall, if you look at the standings, um, we're good because we're punting field goals, and that is the category I'm lowest. I'm the lowest in the league in that category. So that's a successful punt, I think. But of course, turnovers will be high because I'm also punting field goals. So have to be elite in other categories. I'm
Ninth round, Melton gets picked over Conley. There are lots of starters here still available. I mean, sometimes I feel like you have to pick the starters first over some of these bench guys.
I think Mike Conley is a guy who's really overlooked. I mean, 130s, he's a very solid pick. Especially a guy who averages 1.5 turnovers and 6.7 assists. It's very hard to find a guy like that.
Yeah.
So he's a very solid pick.
No, but the thing I can't understand is like you pick Melton, for example, who probably will come off the bench.
Will he? Oh yeah, Max
Yeah,
Harden. Yeah.
most likely he will. I mean, has there been major changes in Philly? I don't think so.
No,
So his
yeah.
role is going to be the same. I'd rather pick someone like Schroeder who's going to start than Melton.
True.
I mean, Brandon Miller is being picked. What's your read on Brandon Miller? I've seen him being picked in a lot of drafts. Actually.
If I'm not um well, for me, like I'm not really looking at field goal. I'll be more confident in risking him for certain
Over
punt
PJ,
builds. Over who?
PJ Washington
I'm not high on PJ this year. Don't think I don't really think he gets enough uh
usage.
opportunities this year. Yeah. I'm gonna pick another player who's not in my queue. Now I'm putting him in my queue.
Bojan.
Yeah. Well, Reed goes 131. Let me see who are in my queue. Conley or
I
forward.
think now you will have lots of small forward options because these guys are not popular option players.
Yeah, I could just wait, no? I'm thinking I could just wait.
I
Just
mean,
get
I don't think Bojan will be available in the next round, but yeah, at least some of the other guys will most likely be available.
but at 132 it kind of feels right. It's just that Conley is here. Uh
But you don't need Condi. You've got so many guards.
that's true. Just go as you said. Just so solid. Conley was just such a great value.
If you
Uh
didn't pick D'Lo, then maybe Condi would have been.
that's true. That's true. I should have picked Conley over D'Lo. That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Although if you were going for some scoring, I mean, obviously D'Lo would be the better
No, but
option.
but but I should have gotten Conley. I'm number one in scoring. I have a lot of scores left here. I could get RJ as I said. No, and that was a mistake. It's really hard to draft and do a podcast.
You get used to it. I got
Uh
so used to it already.
so right
But it
now,
helps if you are with somebody, someone that
yes,
tells
yes,
you
yes, for sure.
you see
That helps.
this, you don't see this, but that other person could see this as well. So Ben Simmons was picked already, 10th round.
Isaiah Stewart, RJ Barrett is gone. So I guess I won't have the chance to finally own RJ Barrett in a
I'm
league this
surprised you're even considering him.
because I'm punting
But
field goal.
yeah, I know, I understand, but
I mean,
it seems like you hated him.
I hate him, but you don't look at the name, you just look at what the stats you need.
Yeah,
Plus, if I'm gonna talk myself into RJ Barrett, I'm just gonna say he's still young, right?
yeah,
Um, he could easily be the guy that steps up in New York instead of Julius Randle. People love Julius Randle, who had a great season last year, but not even sure if what Julius Randle shows up because so far he's had good year, bad year, good year. So what if the
yeah.
bad Randall shows up and then it's RJ Barrett who suddenly has a great year?
So there,
So
Mike Conley gets picked 136,
that's solid. That's a great pick.
and then Jaden Ivey gets picked. Who are some of the players that are Colin Sexton still available?
Yeah, Sexton is available. I do like Sexton this low. If you needed, more scoring, I think he's somebody to consider.
He
I'm just
starts,
gonna
right?
talk about new players stepping up. The that came out about Derek Lively in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kidd talking about Lively starting.
That yeah,
Uh,
he could start.
so that
Did he declare that he's gonna start, or he just said he could start?
no, he said he's gonna talk to the GM or to the I don't know who, the owner of Dallas about starting Lively. Now I don't know why you have to do that because you're the coach. You should be able to decide who you want to start, but that's what he said. You want to start
Yeah, but
live, and the other rookie, Olivier Maxence Prosper. I think he wants to play him a lot also, but he it was Lively that he said that he wanted to start, no, wanted to try starting. So that suddenly of course the deep leagues Lively went higher, went off the boards. Those who drafted already picked him up. I think that's the right thing to do. But if you ask me if he's a must pick, I don't think so. I don't think he's ready. I just don't think he's ready. That's my thing about Lively. In the summer league, he showed a lot of inexperience.
mm-hmm.
So I don't think he's gonna be. Even if he starts, I think he still gets 20 at most, 20 minutes at most. He's still more fit for deeper leagues.
Colin
I
Sexton gets picked.
Yeah, the guy I wanted really was picked already, which is Steven Adams. No, so that's sad. He was someone I was considering. Right now, isn't Al Horford kind of a good pick already here?
Um, I don't know. That it seems like the Boston front court got a little deeper.
Yeah, but 149. No? I mean,
Yeah, well, you could take a flyer. I mean, at this point, 11th round, not big of a risk. Plus, the other guys as well are there. Lots of question marks around those guys.
I'm looking at Patrick Williams. No, he's another one of my favorite late rounders. I know what you will say about Patrick Williams, but
He's
uh
the odd man out.
if point 0.9 steals, point 0.9 blocks, could easily be 1.1, 1.1, and that will look so much better. 1.4 threes. I mean, Jaden McDaniels was picked because he averaged 12, 4, 0.9 steals, 1.0 blocks. How is the difference between Jaden McDaniels and Patrick Williams that much, really? I mean,
Uh,
both of them average 1.4 threes. Point 0.9 steals, point 0.9 block. McDaniels, point 0.9 steals, 1.0 block. 2 points less. I mean, Patrick is what, 150, and then Jaden is 100. Is it 50 spots, really? Just something to consider, right?
yeah.
And both of them are still young. No? I know Patrick Williams' usage is the lowest, probably. But, you
No,
know,
it's just that I think Patrick Williams is not known for anything, right? Like
that's true.
Jaden,
That's
I think is more popular because he's usually the guy who guards the best player in the other team. He's known to be that guy. I think it's more like Patrick Williams. What does he really do? So all the things he does gets unnoticed because he's not going to be a popular player. But I
true.
get you. I mean, the stats would say otherwise. But I think that's the reason why he doesn't get much love from fantasy managers because he's a boring utility guy. I
I think
think
it's more of even if anybody gets injured, his stats never change.
yeah,
He
no
he
upside, lower
Yeah,
upside
he just
to none.
doesn't want to take the usage, doesn't want to
He
take
doesn't
most.
want to score. He doesn't. He's not that go-to
Yes,
guy. Well, I don't think Jaden McDaniels is as well. If that's the comparison.
true. There's a point there. Okay, Vanderbilt was picked. Yeah. Actually, before Patrick Williams, I'm gonna go Josh Richardson. Now, did we talk about Josh in the previous?
Yeah, I think in the first
Yeah,
draft,
still
he's
somebody,
starting.
still somebody I love. Late in the draft, no, Josh Richardson, with or without a Dame trade, the risk is low. He would probably start, my opinion, with Jimmy, with Tyler Hero, because they already said Kyle Lowry comes off the bench. So I think he's a solid last round pick. Late, I
Let's just
mean,
hope he gets the minutes,
I think he will. No, I think he will.
enough minutes.
Yes, I just think that there are just too few. I mean, they lost Gabe Vincent, they lost Max Struss. So they
Yeah,
lost a lot of players there at that position. I know Duncan is there, but Duncan plays more of a small forward position.
and he hasn't been consistently playing in the regular season.
That's true. That's true. And then, the kind of player Josh Richardson is, he can guard, he can bring down the ball. He defends. He's a veteran. So I'm sure, and he's been with Miami before. So I think Eric Spoelstra would like him also.
And his best days are with Miami.
That's true. Yes,
Best
that's true.
fantasy days are with Miami.
At
So
this range, some players I've been picking in other drafts. Gordon Hayward is another. I think you picked him also yesterday, right?
yeah, excited. It was every 11th round or last
I think
round.
this is the 12th round, so he's still here. I think Hayward really is not a bad pick at this point. I mean, we want to go upside, but Osar, Amen, they're gone. So the
Yeah, plus
favorite
again,
upside
those
picks.
guys, the difference between those guys and a player like Gordon Hayward is that those guys, we aren't even sure what type of minutes they get,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the only thing questionable with Hayward is obviously the health, but we know he's
Yes,
gonna start. He's probably gonna play 28 minutes, right? So you know
that's
what to
true.
expect. I guess if you're talking about safer choice, that's the safer choice. If you're gonna talk about higher upside, maybe the Thompson twins or whoever a rookie has higher upside.
Yeah.
But the
And
ceiling for Gordon Hayward is not really that low as well. I mean, he can play. He best Gordon Hayward is still good.
there, he got picked. And I'm seeing another thing about Derek Lively suddenly getting that news. Um, Rashawn Holmes is still available. No, usually you wouldn't see Rashawn Holmes being available at this point of this part of the draft, right?
Yeah,
He's always going 120, 130 even. But now he's still available because now people are saying, Lively will start. If Lively starts, then we're not even sure if Holmes what his role is because they still have Powell, they still have Kleber, they still have some of those players there.
Eric Gordon. I think this is the first time I saw Eric Gordon get picked.
You could actually, Emmanuel quickly pick. Emmanuel quickly is here. I hate my the Angelo Russell pick right now. Should not have picked the Angelo Russell. Quickly, such a great pick. I don't think,
Quickly and uh, Mike Conley.
yeah, quickly is such a great pick. So there, that concludes my draft. Outside of not having any small forwards, I think this is okay draft. I would need to balance my roster out. Oh,
No, you got two small forwards or
I only
three?
got
Two.
one. I only got one. But
Wait,
let's see.
Bojan. Bojan is a small forward.
Bojan is my only small
Oh,
forward.
Patrick Williams is not a small forward.
Yes, it's not a small forward. But I'll wait. Maybe Josh Richardson, because usually Josh Richardson has a small forward
Yeah,
eligibility, and Patrick Williams, I know the past year he has one.
yeah. That's why I'm
So
surprised.
yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait for
I
for
thought
that.
he had small forward eligibility.
The other teams are quite strong, no? The winner of this draft is SNR Pardo. Looking at his team, he was the one who picked Kyrie, Kawhi. That's why I guess he won the draft because he got Zion and Kawhi. So KD, Kyrie, Kawhi, and Zion.
Mhm.
He was also the one who got Robert Williams, Al Horford, Terry Rozier, CJ McCollum, DeAndre Ayton. He got all the players that fell.
Yeah, you just
So
picked everyone.
that
It's
fell.
like, yeah, it's like auto picking, right? Sometimes
Yes.
having it on auto pick gives you
I
those
w-
players with great value.
I will be watching his season. If you look at it in a 12-14 team league, he doesn't have anybody with an X rank higher than 129. That's how stacked his team is, name wise, name value wise, right?
Yeah,
So let's see if this one works. But to be honest, the stat sets do not match. But as I said,
it's weird. It's weird.
getting Zion at that range and getting Rozier at 101, getting McCollum at 90 something. We talked about it. Apparently, he was the one who picked both. Robert Williams at what, 120 something, 130. So yeah, uh, great draft for him.
Actually, that Zion pick would be crucial now. If
Yeah,
Zion performs really well, I think he could still be a, you know, because the players don't doesn't seem to match or
but the
with
good
really.
thing with him is because he has Kyrie, he has KD, even
Yeah,
Zion's free throw, he was able to. Which he has Kawhi, he has
yeah,
Kyrie, he has KD, he has Kawhi. So those are three players that could be first rounders. Zion could be a top 20 guy. So this is a very interesting experiment that he did. No, very interesting. I haven't seen this much because usually we say don't risk pick risky players together, but what he did was pick all of them together,
yeah.
basically.
All
And
right,
all those, yeah,
Lowry wraps up the draft.
that's it.
And yeah, that's it. That's it for today's draft. We'll see you guys. I don't know. I couldn't remember when's the next one. I think it's on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that's it, guys. Bye.